When you are managing worry and anxiety, then being told to take a deep breath can feel like it is barely scratching the surface of the kind of support and help you actually need. And yet, studies show that having various breathing techniques up your sleeve to help you in your journey through navigating anxiety and worry can have a long-lasting effect, not just in the moment, but by incorporating it into your practice, your daily practice of well-being. You can have a complete transformation of how you react to anxious situations, which is why today I'm going to give you my core 4 breathing techniques for navigating anxiety. Hey, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you can be part of this incredible community. Today, I'm going to just take you through these 4 breathing techniques that have had a profound impact on my own journey through anxiety, but also on the journey of so many people that I have worked with. And they are going to help you have just something up your sleeve so that when you are presented with a situation that you're finding difficult, you will have them at the ready. What I find about breathing techniques is that they are useful on so many different levels, but you need to get to be familiar with each one. Find the ones that work for you in different situations. The number one thing that I can tell you right now, though, that is a game changer for a lot of people when they start using breathing techniques, when they start incorporating them into their daily practice, is that it is not only about using breathing techniques or breath work when you start to feel anxious. That's why that advice that we talked about right at the beginning of take a deep breath isn't really the full picture. Yes, it can be absolutely crucial to have a breathing technique that is usable in the moment when you start to feel those anxious thoughts, when your mind starts racing, or when you get worried, when you feel the other physical symptoms start to kick in, those things that you have become familiar with associating with anxiety. Knowing that you can fall back on a breathing technique that you have already practiced is going to help you lower your blood pressure. It's going to help you realign your nervous system. It will help you bring that anxiety down. But here's the amazing fact. If you practice various breathing techniques on a daily basis as part of your habitual morning routine or evening routine, if you incorporate it into your daily life, then you can have a long-term lasting effect on your anxiety and your worry levels and start to change the trajectory of your anxiety profile. So I'm gonna give you these amazing 4 strategies, my core 4 breathing techniques for navigating anxiety, and you can use them as and when you see fit. They will all have a slightly different effect on you, and you'll become more familiar with when each one works best in your daily life, in your daily practice, and in those moments when you feel that anxiety start to come on. Before I jump into the how-to of these breathing techniques, I do need to remind you that if you are launching into breathwork for the first time, do make sure that you see a healthcare professional or your doctor so that you can get the best guidance as it relates to you. Don't jump into any breathing technique that feels uncomfortable, and make sure that you're getting guidance that is based on your specific health profile. The first one I want to look at today is box breathing. This is really simple, and if you're new to breathwork, this is a great place to start because it will get you familiar with the idea of counting as you're doing your breathing, and also gives you really clear image to follow, which is one of the reasons that I love it so much. This is a really good technique for getting mindful. So it is really applicable if you are in a private space and are aware that you're heading into an anxious moment. So when you are preparing for a job interview, or when you're about to go out on a date, or when you're just in a mode where you feel like anxiety might come to pass in that day, or you feel that your mind is starting to race. And this box breathing, you can do it with your eyes shut or your eyes open, and it incorporates inhale, exhale, and a held breath. You can do this on any set count. I always do this starting off when I'm working with people for the first time on a count of 6, because that generally feels like it is just challenging enough that it brings your awareness to it, but isn't so challenging that you feel like it's hard to keep up with. However, if you've been doing breath work a lot, or you feel that you have the capacity, you can go to 8 counts, you can go to 10 counts. The important thing is that you're doing it to a point where it feels like a bit of a challenge, but is not uncomfortable. So here's what we're gonna do with our box breathing. You imagine a box, so 4 sides of a box, and you inhale as you imagine the side of the box. You inhale, let's say on 6 counts, you go 1. And then when you get to the 6, you imagine that top section of the box and you hold for 6 counts. So you're holding your breath, you're taking that inhale on a count of 6 and you're gonna hold your breath for 6 counts. And then you're gonna take the next side of the box and that's your exhale for 6 counts again. And then your final side of the box, that bottom of the box, you're gonna hold again. So that's a hold for 6 counts. So it goes like this: inhale for 6 counts, hold for 6 counts, exhale for 6 counts, and hold for 6 counts. And what I like about this one is that you have that really clear visual in your head as well, which is why it can really help with a mindfulness practice, because it just brings you into what's happening right then and there. And if you are someone who works well when you're doing mindfulness, works well with a strong image, well, that box image is gonna help with that specific technique. So try that one out. And as I say, start with 6 counts, move on to 8 if it feels natural and comfortable to you. The second breathing technique of my core 4 strategies right now is a beautiful one that I call candle breathing. And this is fantastic if you are feeling all of those symptoms of anxiety coming on or worry coming on, especially if you're feeling that fight flight thing. So if you've got that heart racing, if you're starting to feel sweaty, if your mouth is becoming dry, this is a really good one for centering that central nervous system and just allowing yourself to take a moment to pause. This one, you imagine that you've got a candle coming out, like a flame, like your finger is a candle, you're imagining a flame coming out of the top of your finger. And what you're gonna do is breathe out. You're gonna exhale and imagine that your exhale is causing that flame to just waver, but not to actually go out. This is again a really clear image that can help you just get control of that breathing. So you take an inhale in and then you breathe out, allowing that image to respond to your breath. So you're gonna imagine that flame is just wavering but never going out. It goes to a little bit something like this. And you go right to the end of that breath and you can repeat that as many times as you need. This is another one that is great to have up your sleeve if you're heading into a situation that is causing you to worry. It just allows you to gain that control again, especially if you're someone whose breath is really affected when you start to worry, when you start to get anxious. If you start to feel that hyperventilating coming on, using this technique will just bring it back under your control. The next technique I want to go through, I call RLN, or right left nostril breathing. You may be familiar with this before. This actually stems from a yogic practice. So it is centuries of years old, but it's done slightly differently by different people. The way that we approach this one is to breathe in through one nostril and out through another. This one immediately lowers your blood pressure and is another good one to incorporate into your daily practice, because the long-term benefits of this specific breathing technique in terms of your overall physical and mental health has been heavily researched and proven. So a great one to use on a daily basis, but again, one that you can use at any point when you need it, knowing that it's there for you to support you. In order to do the RLN breathing, we need to close off one nostril. I will just say a little caveat here is don't try and do this one when you have a cold. If you've already got a stuffed up nose, this is going to become frustrating pretty quickly. If, however, your cold is just starting to go and you need to clear those nasal passageways, this could be a really good one. But if you're right in the thick of it, maybe stick to one of the other breathing techniques I've given you today. So the RLN breathing just requires you to cover up one nostril as you breathe in. Again, you can choose what count you're going to use. Start with a 6 if this is new to you. If you feel like you have the capacity, go up to an 8 or a 10. It should be a little bit of a challenge, but not so much that you're feeling that it is causing discomfort. So we breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. Now you'll see with the technique as I do it in the RLN breathing is we swap each time. There are other versions of this technique where you stick to one nostril for going in and one nostril for going out. Basically, you should do what feels comfortable to you, but understand that the health benefits here are really crucial. And by using this on a regular basis, you are going to feel the benefits in terms of your energy levels, in terms of your anxiety levels, really allowing you to find more balance in your life. The final breathing technique that I'm going to share with you today is my absolute number one favorite, my go-to when I'm working with people as they are managing their anxiety, and my go-to for myself as well. And this is body-centered breathing. This has a lot of versatility to it, and you can adopt it in so many different ways for different situations and for what you're trying to tackle in that moment. Basically, what we're doing here is choosing a body part and imagining that the breath is going in and out of that specific body part. I'll give you an example and then I'll tell you my favorite one to use. So a great example here is using your heart. When you use it as a heart-focused breathing, you can place your hand on your heart. In fact, I suggest using your hands to direct your thought, whatever the body part you choose is a really good way to start if this is a new technique for you. So if we were using our heart as the body part that we've chosen, then we would imagine that the breath is going into the heart and being released from the heart. So you kind of pretend that it's not the lungs doing the breathing at all, it's your heart doing the breathing. Again, you can do this on 6 counts, you can do it on 8 counts, you can do it on 10 counts, same caveat as before, whatever is comfortable to you. We breathe in, imagining that it is the heart doing the breathing. And we breathe out, imagining that the heart is releasing the breath. This is a great one to do with your eyes shut. If it's helpful for you to just close out the rest of the world, again, take it as a mindfulness moment for yourself and really lean into that visualization. So visualizing, in that case, that it's the heart. You can do it with any body part. You can do it with your stomach, is a really powerful one and can give you a sense of strength to get that core working for you. I told you that I would tell you my all-time favorite body part to do this with, and that is the soles of my feet. When you're standing, especially if you're standing ready to give a presentation or you're about to go and do something and you need that boost of strength and you need to reduce the worry, reduce the anxiety, and go into it as your best self, placing your feet firmly on the ground and imagining that you're breathing in and out from the soles of your feet. As weird as that may sound, it grounds you in a way that will make you feel powerful and ready to present your best self, ready to take on any challenge and really give it your all. So try this one, experimenting with different body parts. You can use the top of your head, you can use your cheeks, you can use your shoulders, you can use your knees. You get the idea. The important thing here is that you find something that works for you and change it up depending on what you need it for in that moment. Allow yourself the time to explore. Make the exploration of your breathing techniques, as I say, part of your daily routine. All of these techniques are going to find their way into your practice. You will find uses for each one. This is why it's the core four, is because they can form the fundamental basis for which you begin to navigate your anxiety. Come back to this video as many times as you need to go through the specific technique that you want to try, and allow yourself to really invest the time and energy into developing your breathwork exercises. I hope this video has been useful for you today. Drop me a comment below to let me know which one you're enjoying using, which one you're finding more difficult, or any other breathing techniques that you find help your anxiety, so that we can support this incredible community. And if you want to know more about managing your anxiety, don't forget to check out the video here, and also check out the free resources that I've got in the description box below, because there are some amazing tools that will help you on your journey to living your best self. I'll see you again real soon.